Anyways, Steelclaw, a medium monstrosity, neutral evil, with 13 natural AC, is medium, as I'd stated, 20 D8 hit dice, that's absurd, and a constitution bonus of +1 coming from the 13 score that it has, and we don't care about wisdom or charisma for this monster, and should be a CR3 flying terror. After that, we have nothing to worry about from the skills section here because I didn't give it any skills to worry about, but I did give it some monster actions, or monster traits I should say. So we have monster traits here of dive attack, which we can put in, which is similar to the Aarakocra dive attack. And let's see here, the Steelclaw is flying and dives at least 30 feet straight towards a target, and then hits with a melee attack. The attack deals an extra 10.5 damage to the target. So I'm just going to throw it in as 10, giving us +10 DPR for every round of combat. And after that, now that we're done with dive attack and seeing that we're getting 10 DPR every round, we also have flyby. Now, flyby is awesome because it doesn't allow attacks of opportunity and does allow the Steelclaw to come in, swoop, attack, and then fly away to safety with a flying speed of 60, but then it's counteracted by reactions to attack when the monster comes into range. So the flyby has no effect for the CR, surprisingly enough. But we do have some multi-attacks and actions here, so let's take a look at that. And we're going to throw in its attack of +4, which isn't really much of anything. It's based off of its strength and the proficiency bonus of 2. And then we'll come in here for its first attack of the bite. So we have, let's see here, 6.5 piercing damage, and if the attack was made during a dive attack, the target must make a constitution save or be stunned until the end of the Steelclaw's next turn. Now, the stun could be a bit of a rider here and cause maybe an additional 4 effective DPR, and it's only for 1 turn. So I would probably constitute this stun as like a cantrip level effectiveness for DPR. We'll take a look here and see what happens on top of that, as well as the talons, because the Steelclaw is making 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its talons, while also getting that dive attack bonus here. So let's see what we do here with the talons. The talons is going to be a simple 7.5 points of slashing damage, and then we have a multi-attack here of attacks 1 and 2, and then that is simply just the Steelclaw is going to be repeating this for all 3 rounds of combat, diving in, attacking and whatnot, harassing the players. And we have ourselves a CR3 across the board, as we can see here. And if I wanted to balance this out and see what I would actually do to make this a little bit more of a terror, as I would want it to be a striker, I would probably drop this down to maybe a CR or a DCR of 1 again, and have very little hit points for it. So let's drop this down from 20 to 12. Let's see what happens with 12. Alright, well that's too far, and it drops our DCR from the 3 all the way down to 1/2. So let's back this up a little bit and go to 14. Alright, there we go. So we drop it 6 hit dice, and we now have our DCR 1 for the Steelclaw. Now the key here is, how much damage do we have to add to these attacks in order to get this up to a CR3 again? Because at the moment, it's not really doing a whole lot of damage, technically. I mean, the dive attack is what's really giving it a lot of damage here. This is one way to do it. We could drop the hit dice down by 6 to 14 hit dice, bringing the DCR from 3 to 1, and then we could increase the damage of the monster from 1 dice each, so it would then be 2d8 and 2d10 plus the dive attack, raising the damage to a OCR 5, but because it has a lower 2-hit chance of only +4, this drops it down effectively to an OCR 4, and when we average everything out, we end up with a 5. This would average out to 2.5, and then we round up to a 3. So with those slight modifications there, we then have ourselves this Steelclaw flying terror, almost basically like a gargoyle, ranked at the CR3 that I was looking at.